Hello and welcome to the channel where I'm gardening and I pretend to know what I'm doing, but really it's only my second year gardening and I have no idea what I'm doing. This is my first year garden and I successfully grew 4 indeterminate tomatoes and some herbs, and the rest of my plants died. And the next logical step I thought was to build a massive 40 by 25 foot permanent garden with raised garden beds made out of concrete blocks. This is the spot that I chose for my garden. It's the sunniest spot on our property. On the south side, there's a bunch of trees, and to the left of this area was a massive pine tree. If you didn't see my last video, we cut that down in that video, and it did cast quite a big shadow in this area, so it gave me even more sun. I started with measuring out the area, so it's going to be 40 feet long along the fence line and 25 feet out towards the house. And I put a string line out to just help me with laying everything out. Tried to make sure the corners were as 90-degree angle as possible. And then I started laying down cardboard, and honestly, this was a waste of time. I didn't finish the project. I don't even think I got like a quarter of the way through the whole garden. And as I start laying the blocks down, I have to dig up an area or build up areas with dirt, and then I put the cardboard inside the garden bed. So honestly, I really could have skipped this step and saved me some time, but I got outside with my daughter, so that's fine.
Want to get some more cardboard? Okay, let's go. You get in the way again? Come on. Evelyn, come on, honey. Yeah. Ready? Good job. Let's get him to bouncy. Come on.
So I got 3 pallets. I forget exactly how many. I'll put the number that I got for all the garden beds that I want to make. But I got 4 by 8 by 16 inch cement blocks. I'm gonna take a couple out right now and see what they look like. Okay, so the first bed is gonna be 2 wide, and it's gonna go all the way down there and all the way over there. It's gonna be an L shape, but it's gonna be a lot of work to level.
Concrete blocks aren't very popular for raised garden beds. One, because it is a lot of work and they are heavy. It's a lot of labor up front. And years ago, they were made with a different material that was toxic. So you definitely didn't want to grow your vegetables or fruits around them. But now they're not made with that. I forget what it was called. I'll put it on the screen, whatever it was called. But it's not made with that material anymore, and so it is safe to use in garden beds. But I wanted a material that I would never have to replace, and this will outlast my lifetime.
Here is the state of the garden right now. I know this is unlevel, but I wasn't going to build it up like I had to the other one, so I'm just going to deal with it.
Once I got the L-shaped perimeter foundation layer down, I started laying out the inner garden beds, and I'm so glad that I mapped this out before I started digging and placing them down, because I ended up going back and relaying them out. But I ended up with 3.5 feet around the alleyways so that I could easily get my wagon everywhere in the garden, not just down certain alleyways. I had originally planned to do 4-foot garden beds, but this was way too big. It was hard for me to get into the center of the garden beds, especially because the concrete blocks are wider than just a standard metal or wood bed. So I ended up with 32-inch wide beds. Okay, I'm gonna start laying out my other garden beds here. And at first I was gonna do like a string line that I have here. I was gonna do more of that in like the rectangle shape that I need. However, I think it would be easier to actually just lay these fence rails out so that I can dig, and just be easier to have those as a perimeter of where I need to dig to lay the bricks down. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Also, there's going to be some different techniques that you'll see as I'm building all these different beds. And around the L perimeter, I started with layering up the soil to try to make everything super level, and it was a lot of work and it was a waste of soil, and I stopped doing that on the second layer. As you can see on the left hand side, the far layer of bricks is much higher than the inside layer, and I just didn't care at that point. I was tired of laying down too much soil, and you'll see I'll start digging out, and it works just fine. You don't have to build it up, and it doesn't have to be completely perfect. The way that I did these two inner beds just worked out so much better, and it was so much easier, and they look great. And so the last two beds that I still have yet to build, I'll do exactly the same that I did these and not build up with so much soil. I did, however, remove the green grass just because it is a little bit more lumpy than the dead grass that the cardboard was on top of. So maybe it wasn't a complete waste of time to put some of that cardboard down. I tried using the fork, but it just wasn't working very well, so I ended up using a hoe to get out much of the green grass. This was the last time that I used a level. This was the first and last time that I used the large level, and this did work pretty well. But it just really wasn't necessary. As long as everything was mostly eye level and the beginning and end of each block lined up, it works out just fine. I did still use some soil to build up certain areas, but way less soil than I used on the outer perimeter. I think I used not even a 1 cubic foot of soil for this whole garden bed, and it's just to build up certain areas so that the ends matched up perfectly. Okay, actually, this is the last time I used the level. I just popped a tire on one of those forks. Oops. There's a hole in there. Guess I'm getting a new tire. It'd be nice to have one of the ones that, it's like the no flat tires. I'll have to look at those. But here's this garden bed so far. It's turning out good. I'm trying to connect it because this ground is so unlevel. So I'm hopefully gonna connect it here without too much of a hump. That's the plan anyway, we'll see. So yeah, on this last side, on each side, I laid a couple of bricks and then worked my way in from one side. And I was just hoping that it would line up well. And as you'll see in the next clips, it actually lined up pretty well. And so this method seemed to work quite well for this case.
Okay, it's down to the last two, I hope. And it kind of looks a little bit bigger, so I might have to squish them in a little bit on the sides so there's not too big of a gap, but we'll see. Let's test that. Oh, it's pretty close. I mean, it's like 1/4 of an inch, so that's not bad. So I guess I'll do this side shorter, so if I need to move that side in, I will. So we'll do this one first.
Also, what I did was measure end to end on this side of the bed and made sure that it matched the first long side of the bed to make sure that it just lined up perfectly, and it really did.
What's wrong, honey? Hmm? This one has got a hump in it. Rock. Almost. There's some slight gapping in these ones, and honestly I think it's pretty good. So I'm just gonna leave it. I think it'll be fine. But here's the bed. It looks pretty good. Now this one is gonna be 2 bricks high all the way around, and then I'm gonna do a divide down the middle of it, and then I'm gonna do 3 more of those across here. The 2 middle ones, half is gonna be 2 bricks high and the other half is gonna be 1 brick high. That's gonna be shallow beds for like strawberries, I think like onions and garlic maybe. So that's the plan. I ordered some new tires for the wagon. I only got a 2-pack because I didn't want to spend that much. So I might just put these on the back too, since one of the back left one is the one that popped. Wild. Oh boy. Alright, I need 2 hands for this. Oh, that one was so much easier. Why did this one have a washer on it? Okay. New tires. Pretty good.
This is what I ended up with on 1 layer, and then I started stacking the 2nd layer. I, of course, didn't film the first side, the first couple of sides that I did, but yeah, all I did was just line it up. I was going to stagger the blocks, but it just didn't work out with them being on level, but this seems to work out just fine, and I'm putting rocks and soil in the inside of the block so it'll hold. I've been working on doing the other 2 beds kind of off camera because I just am so behind on planting. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. In the next one, I'll start filling the bed. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching.